Hello everyone, it is I, Jack from Jack's Trains, and welcome back to another episode of the brand new H.R.C.A Adventures. And today we are back at the Locomotion Museum in Shildon. For this time we're doing a model railway show, which is going to be, or a model railway exhibition, which is here at the museum. So we're going to go take a look around and see what's going on with that. So let's go have a look. So welcome back to another episode of the brand new H.R.C.A Adventures, a series where I go to all things railway related. And before I get into this episode, I just want to say that this episode was recorded last month on the 26th of April, so it's a little outdated as it's now the 21st of May as of editing this video, so almost a whole month late, but hey, I can't always have time on my hands, can I now? But today we are here at the Locomotion Museum once again for a model railway show this time. But not just any model railway show, it's a Hornby model railway show, showcasing all eras of Hornby during the ages, from 3-rail to 2-rail, double O gauge to N gauge. This show has all things from the early days of Hornby, with vintage layouts, plus a few other model railway brands too. Now I'm going to save you the history of this museum for the time being, as it's only the second episode of the series, and we were literally here in the last episode. But if you are interested, you can check out my previous episode, which goes over most of the things you can find here, and a lot of the history of the trains on display. And, of course, the museum itself. But don't worry, because I'll go over a few more locos I missed in the last episode at the end of this episode. So with all that being said, let's hop inside and find out what's going on at this special event. Alright, so we're heading into the entrance of Locomotion. Let's hop in this way. We're heading into the entrance of Locomotion, and we can see there is layouts everywhere. You can see over here, they've got layouts all over the place. Obviously the locomotives are over that way. And then there's obviously the cafeteria over there. But we can see some interesting... There's a really interesting layout there. So they've got all sorts of layouts here, like 3rd rail layouts, dual rail layouts. They've even got windy layouts with windy trains. For example, this one here, 3-rail. There's some over there. They've got big rail. You've got double O gauge, N gauge, O gauge, all sorts of layouts here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at each one. I've got some, look.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
You've won a teddy.
I've won a teddy. I've won a teddy for that. Joking. Right, let's give drive initial go. This one here. very different from the switches I've got on my railway. That's alright.
Shuttle service, just to do power on and off, because obviously they're not PCC. Making them go on. Because even before digital, you could still shuttle services. Making separate stations.
Yeah.
It was done on seconds. It was how many seconds it was between each stop. It count, the circuit would count. Clever. So it proves even the old fashioned way, you can still make it.
That's makes the conflict is that they've got the boiler being around, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Just Hornby don't do engage anymore, do they? They've got 009 instead. The backland do it. Yeah, that's cool.
Hornby's origins trace back to 1901 in Liverpool when Frank Hornby patented his educational construct toy initially called Mechanics Made Easy, which later evolved into Meccano. In 1938, Hornby launched Hornby 00, a double-O gauge system that became the company's mainstay in the 1950s. After Frank Hornby's death in 1936, his son Roland Hornby became chairman, with George Jones as managing director. In 1964, financial difficulties led to the acquisition of Hornby by Triang Railways, creating the Triang Hornby brand. So despite the modern day Hornby isn't actually the Hornby we once knew, Hornby is still going strong as a brand and still continues to make new models to this day, with one of their recents being TT120. So here we are with a Class 414 2-hap electric multiple units built in between 1956 and 1963. Network Southeast livery, my favourite livery of all time. I love the Network Southeast liveries. I think they're such a great livery, but these trains in particular are obviously electric multiple units, but they run on third rail. So down by the wheels, it would have a little sleeper, or little, whatever you would call it, little sleeper thing that would connect to the third rail on the track, which would give it the power it needs. But these are obviously, they've got different classes. You've got the 416s, which I have a model of a 416 on the layout back at home. So to see one of these is quite surprising, because these used to run down south where I used to live, on like just through like Gravesend, Medway, London, all that kind of stuff. And this is a great locomotive. Let's hear some history. The Class 414s, also known as 2-haps, were built between 1956 and 1963 for mainline semi-fast and express services, primarily serving London commuters and the southern region of British Railways. They were capable of speeds up to 90 miles per hour, matching the express gear ratio of the 4 CEP units for multiple working. Nicknamed 2-hap, given it's a unit type, 2-car half lavatory with electro-pneumatic brakes. These units were very similar to the Class 416s, which were also an electric multiple unit, and the Class 205s, nicknamed thumpers, which were a diesel multiple unit. So here we are with the this Muppet. So here we are with the APTE, very iconic high-speed locomotive. One of the first high-speed locomotives, along with the Class 41, which I did in my last video. These were built in the early 1970s. Obviously, instead of passenger, they would do it, well, instead of modern regular passenger commuter, they were doing obviously high-speed services. But this is the only one, I believe, still kept in preservation at the Locomotion Museum. So it's interesting to see one of these here. They didn't last very long at all. So let's get to some history. The APTE, aka Advanced Passenger Train Experimental, was a prototype tilting train unit used by British Rail in the early 1970s, powered by gas turbines. It made its first proven run in 1972 and achieved a British Railway speed record of 152.3 miles per hour in 1975, which still stands for non-electrified rail travel in the UK to this day. The train consisted of 2 driving power cars and 2 trailer cars equipped with Leyland gas turbines and traction motors. After its testing period, the APTE was donated to the National Rail Museum in York and now sits here at the Locomotion Museum in Shildon. This train would later get a newer build called the APTP, Advanced Passenger Train Prototype, which would hold the key to high-speed travel alongside the Class 253 and 254 HSTs. So here we are with a Battle of Britain class. And this one in particular is nicknamed Winston Churchill, preserved here at the Locomotion Museum. These were built in the 1940s, I believe. I'll let you know in the history I'm about to say after this, but I believe it's 1946. Atlantic Coast Express. These are streamlined engines, similar to the A4s, except obviously the front of it is not covered. The front of it is open. It's just the sides that are mainly streamlined. They're very similar to the Merchant Navy classes and slightly similar to the Britannia classes, but obviously the streamlined variant. I'm pretty sure that the Merchant Navies had a streamlined variant like this, but correct me if I'm wrong there. But this train in particular was built for express passenger services. And the unusual thing about this is the wheels aren't exactly like when you look at regular steam engines, they have like normal wheels with like, whatever you would call it. I'll put that more into the description in a minute. But these wheels look more like a cog, like a wheel cog. It's really weird. A bit like an American locomotive. But, yeah. Okay, basically what I'm talking about here is most wheels on a steam loco look like this, when this locomotive has wheels that look more like this. Forgive my explanation. The Battle of Britain class locomotives were part of the Southern Railway's Light Pacific series built between 1945 and 1951. Designed by Chief Mechanical Engineer Oliver Bully during the closing years of World War II to provide a fast, powerful and versatile mixed traffic engine capable of operating on a wide range of routes. Mechanically, they were identical to the West Country class, with the main distinction being the naming convention. While West Country class locomotives were named after resorts and beauty spots, the Battle of Britain class locomotives honoured RAF squadrons, aircrafts, airfields and personalities associated with the 1940 Battle of Britain. They are very similar to the Merchant Navy class, which also have a streamlined variant which looks practically identical to a Battle of Britain class. Though not as similar, they do also sort of resemble a Britannia class, just with all the streamlining. But all three locomotives are quite the class, all unique in their own little ways. So that concludes our look around this model railway event here at Locomotion. Honestly, I'm quite impressed with it. Not only is it great for model railway fans, but for railway fans in general, because not only is there little locos for you to look at, there's also the real thing not that far behind. Taking a look at all of these various layouts puts me right in the place to be, and gives me ideas for future videos on my own layout. Not only did we look at layouts, but also a few more locos too. The Black 5 was also open to cab tours as well, which I have been inside before, and plus it was quite busy, so I left it for now. After getting a quick bite to eat from the cafeteria, we made our way out of the building and towards our exit, but not before seeing these pretty odd looking scarecrow things, which honestly, this one looks a lot like my mother. And I also picked up this Hornby Railway Collectors Association leaflet, which I don't even know if you can read all that, to be fair. But that is it for this episode, so let's bring it to a close. So that was the Hornby Model Railway exhibition here at Locomotion. Back here again, obviously, this time. Last time I was here, we had a look around. So they had some interesting layouts on there today. They had a wind-up one that was very interesting. They had some N-gauge, double O-gauge, O-gauge ones. And obviously we had a little brief look at some of the locos that I'd missed. A little bit of history about them. Had 3 of them in this video. So we had another look around the actual museum itself, had a look around little bits and bobs. But yeah, so that was the Model Railway exhibition. For any of those who didn't go, you can check out this video, see some of the, I showcased all the layouts that I could find here today, so you can have a look at those in this video. And yeah, so with that being said, that's going to be it for this episode, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Keep train spotting.